Have you actually been through the review of the game on the weekend yet, Bass, or was that this afternoon?
We haven't done the team review yet, no.
Yeah. So,
coaches have reviewed, though.
Yeah. I mean, how do you look at an 83-point win like that? Do you think there's always areas to improve on? Or if there are, what do you think that it was missing perhaps from a win like that?
Yeah, I thought we had a good, strong start. And, it was good to, you got a 7-goal head start 20 minutes into the game. So, pretty tough to lose from that place. I think we've been continuing to work on the areas in offence where we're starting to see some growth. I thought our forward entries looked much better, and the way we used the ball around the ground, there was some good positive signs there. Probably our defence as a whole wasn't terrific on the day, our team defence, but from an offensive perspective, there was some good signs.
When Ken talked about the new game plan that you guys are working to this year, how significantly does that affect how your defensive group go about it?
It certainly helps because I think we've had some great support from the forwards and mids to put more pressure on the opposition, but also to get back and help. We're probably trying to keep the ball out of our defence as much as we can. It makes it a lot easier if the ball's not back there.
Has it changed a lot of what your back six specifically do on game day?
Not in great deal. Not a great deal. Probably a little bit offensively, but not a great deal.
You're really healthy at the moment. I think very few injuries. The only major one is Travis Boak. How's he tracking? Do you think he's on track to come back hopefully this week?
He sounds pretty positive. I think he's pretty keen to get back in there and play. So, look, a healthy list is always a good start towards winning games of footy. And at the moment, our list has been very healthy so far this year, and we haven't had too many players miss games, which is great.
This week, obviously, a massive test for that midfield group. The Eagles boast one of the deepest and strongest midfields. How much of a benchmark game is this to come up against an Eagles side?
Yeah, they've played very well at Adelaide Oval. I think the last few times I've won here. So, they were a finals team the last couple of years. So, we certainly like to beat a finals team.
Just back on Bokey, I guess, how would you describe his chances of playing this weekend?
I'd imagine pretty high. I'm not in the medical meeting, but talking to him, it sounds like he's pretty positive that he'll play.
Nathan, how have you seen your defensive group working this year? It seems like Tom Cleary's got some pretty good consistency, and Dan Houston just slotted in like he's been there forever almost. Yeah,
I've been happy with the way the defenders have performed as a group so far. I think Dan Houston's come in and noticeable straight away what a good user of the footy is, and I think he's improved defensively and certainly in his contest. I think Tom Cleary's had 2 excellent weeks, the last 2 weeks, albeit in games where we've won quite comfortably. So, I think it's his challenge now to take that into the next couple of games and to make that consistent. But, I thought he was terrific on the weekend. And Tommy Jonas has been outstanding back there. So, I've been very happy with the way the defensive group has gone so far. Hopefully they can keep going.
Some tall forwards the West Coast will probably bring here, so I guess that's another challenge.
Yeah, Kennedy's nearly as good as you got. Keeps coming at the footy, never goes off the ground apparently. He plays 100% game time every week. So he's an outstanding player and a terrific competitor, and he touched us up a bit last year, particularly in the first half. I think he kicked 5 last year in the first half. So he's a very good player. Darling's a good hard worker and a runner as well. So, they've got some talent up there.
Who took Josh last year?
I think it was Hompsch in the first half, and then Jonas played on him in the second half.
So I guess you'll wait until a bit closer to work out which one, or Hompsch?
Probably.
Yeah. How do you approach, I guess, this one? You guys have had 4 really good wins and a couple of, I guess you'd almost class them as honourable losses. Is this a chance to get a real good scalp on the resume?
I think we want to see how we're playing under pressure. How are we going to hold up under pressure? On the weekend, there's a pressure of playing against 22 other AFL players out there, but there wasn't really the pressure of winning or the pressure of the scoreboard. And this week should bring in the pressure of the scoreboard at different times in the game. And can we keep playing well? Can we keep playing the way we want to, no matter what the scoreboard says?
Is that something, I guess, in that because you're running against the Giants and then obviously had a tough last quarter. Is that something that you think they didn't live up to the pressure in that game, or is it something that hasn't been tested so far
Yeah,
this year?
I think we struggled towards the end of the third quarter and broke down a little bit, and the last quarter it was as much stoppage as anything where they really got on top of us. So I think there were good sections of the game against Adelaide where they dominated the game. Back half of the second and first half of the third quarter, and it's about making. That's always going to happen in a game. It's about making those times briefer.
Beautiful.
Very much.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, I was just going to ask one of the blokes who ran around in the sandful. It's good to have those three really knocking the door, and if you can touch on Angus's return as well.
Which other one? Sorry.
Brett Eddie and Cracker as well.
Yep. Well, Brett was very good. So it's good to have some pressure, and certainly he's playing his role for the footy club at the moment, and if he keeps playing well, he can certainly earn a position back in the side. I think great for Gus to play after 2 years of not getting to have played footy, and he captained the side on the weekend, and I think he really enjoyed it. He's a combative person and had some good fun playing against the Crows, and Crack was not too bad. I think Crack's still probably regaining some fitness at the moment, and he's a super talent. I mean, he kicked 5, so he can certainly help us, we think, in our forward half if he can string together a few games.
Is there a spot for Gus in the 22, or is he just going to have to bide his time at the moment, obviously?
Well, currently it's pretty tough. We're going to have to drop someone. There's a good chance we'll have to drop someone this week for Travis. So, there's not someone obviously putting their hand up that deserves to not get picked. So it's going to be difficult if our injuries remain the same to earn selection. But certainly if you're playing well and someone isn't, then you're a good chance.